Good morning, this is Elaine with Elaine's Custom Cards with my next video that I want to do for you using the needle, and let's see, it's called Needlepoint Nook DSP. I have about one package of it and I'm still working on using it, so we'll make this card today. It's real simple. If we have time, I have another one with different pattern but the same Needlepoint Nook DSP. So let's get started. For some reason this camera is going in and out blurry, so I'm sorry if it gets blurry. So let's get a piece of scratch paper under here. Let's do it this way. I've got everything cut out and ready to go. This is very vanilla, thick very vanilla, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. This piece of Blueberry Bushel is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8, and I cut the center out because I didn't need the whole thing. So let's start by gluing. Let's put this over here. Let's glue this piece of DSP, and it is 5 1/4 by 4. So let's glue that to this little, looks like a frame, but I'm going to glue that first. I'll probably use that centerpiece for something else. I just didn't feel like it needed to be that thick with cardstock. I love this color. The colors on this are actually Night of Navy, but I thought this color went really well with it as well. Okay, now we're going to take this strip of DSP, and it's from the 2018-2020 in color 6x6 that is in the annual catalog. And so we're going to glue that to the front of the card. And this piece is 5 1/4 by 1. And then you just kind of can put it, I put it in, oh, probably a little bit more than 1/2 inch, but kind of wherever you want it. Just make sure it's even. Just like so. And what I did was I lined it up to the edge of the DSP. And then I took my piece of ribbon and I put a glue dot on the back of it, of the bow. I tied it in, and I tied it around something like I usually do, and tied the knot, and then I clipped the ends. So we're going to put it kind of part way up. Not centered, but you know, kind of where you want, and then I'm putting it on the edge of this strip of DSP, and then we're going to wrap it around. So let's turn this over. I think I'll just use tape on this. So kind of just want to make sure you're even at both ends. I think the tape's going to work the best for this. And you can kind of tell where the stripe is to make sure that you're fairly even on both ends. Okay. Then we're going to take this piece and we're going to glue it to the front of our card. I think we'll probably have time to do another video because this card isn't going to take very long. center that on there, just like so. And then take our, this is very vanilla, and I stamped it with Blueberry Bushel, and this piece was 3.5 by 1 inch, and then I used this triple banner punch to punch the end. But you could cut it in, you know, a lot of people just cut and do that, but I have that punch, so that's what I used. And then I took a sponge dauber and I sponged around the edge with the Blueberry Bushel, just to give it some definition so it didn't look so plain. And I didn't want to attach it to a piece of cardstock, so just like that. And then we're going to put dimensionals on the back, and I think I put quite a few on this one, but I don't think it needed that many. I think that 3 is probably enough for this. And we'll put this, or you can use minis and use more minis. And then I put it to the edge of the blue cardstock, and you just kind of put it wherever it looks pleasing to your eye. Just make sure it's straight. And then I had punched these out from the butterfly paper that was free from Celebration, but you could use, I used this stamp set, this Thank You So Very Much, and you could use any of these butterflies, and then you could die cut out or use the butterfly punch to punch them out, or you could use this die right here to cut them out after you stamp them. I just have that paper and I'm using it, and so I'm try to give you alternatives for something different. I have these lovely little butterflies that I'm using. So I put the butterfly on there, and then I have a black fine tip pen, and I'm going to draw in his antenna, because when I punched it out, of course, they disappeared. So we'll just draw those in just like that. Okay, the front of the card is done. This ribbon is the very vanilla with the gold trim, and I found that's in the annual catalog. And on the inside, I stamped my greeting from Needle and Thread, and it's this greeting right here. And then I took a piece of the Blueberry Bushel, and this piece is 4 1/4 by 7/8 this way, and then a little strip of the DSP, and it's 4 1/4 by 3/4. So this is 4 1/4 by 1 inch. Nope, 7/8. And this is 3/4. So this is 7/8 inches wide, and this is 3/4 inches wide. Or you could do it 1 inch. I just didn't want that big of a border, so I'm just thinking, well, what looks good to you? But it is 4 1/4 inches long. Well, you either get a massive amount or not enough of this glue, so, and you want to make sure that your butterfly paper is right side up, because this is directional. So put that on there. so. Okay. And then we're almost done. Put some glue on the back of this. Glue it to the bottom of the inside. Make sure you don't go over your fold, and your card won't close. Line it up along the edge here. And then the last thing that we need to do for this is I have these gold pearls, and I put them in the center of a few of the butterflies. It's like so. It's like that. And that card is done. As I'm doing this, I wanted to remind you about my host code. For every $50 you purchase, or when you purchase $50 on my website right here, ElaineDotson.stampinup.net, I'm giving away some mini Stampin Dimensionals with your $50 purchase. This card's done. Set that aside, and let's look at this card really quick. I might have time to do this. This one's pretty. I have everything ready. If you want to sign up as a demonstrator under me, go to my website. $99 gets you $125 worth of product. So, this card is using the same paper, just the Needlepoint Nook DSP. What I'm doing with it, I'm using just a different piece of it. This is the same size as on the other card. These pieces are the same. So we're going to adhere this to our little frame. And adhere this. This opens this way instead of the way the other card opened, but it's 11 and a half by 4 1/4 scored. I mean, it's 11, sorry, 11 by 4 1/4 scored at 5 1/2. Okay, looks like I didn't really get my cardstock even. So put that on the front. Let's see if I can get this cardstock even here. I see that I didn't. It's a little bit hard for me after the folds already happened. But let's see if we can do it here. Oh, good. Glue. Definitely got a little bit of glue in there. Just wipe it off. There. We'll just go with it the way it is. Okay. I stamped this with, let's see, Touches of Texture, this image right here. And then I colored it with Stampin' Right markers. I used Balmy Blue, Crushed Curry, and Old Olive on this. And I die cut it out with the layering, the stitched shapes. You can use the regular ovals. You don't have to use the stitched ones. And this is Balmy Blue, and this is the oval die with the scalloped edge. And I believe it's the largest one. This piece of cardstock is 2 5/8 by 7/8. This piece is 2 by 3/4, and I stamped it with Flourishing Phrases with Sympathy. And then I rounded the edges with the corner rounder punch. Ugh. Must be getting low on. I centered that on there. I'm going to put the lid on this so it doesn't dry up. Okay. And then I went ahead and used my scissors on this and kind of trimmed down to the center, like so. And you could use your triple banner punch on this if you want, but I decided to show you how to do it this way. Just like this. Okay, that piece is done. Okay, and then I put dimensionals on the back of this. This card's pretty quick as well. I have another card, but I think I'll do another video with it. So I put the large Stampin Dimensionals on that, and then I glued this to the bottom, just to the very, I put glue right here on the top, and glued it to the bottom of the flowers, just like so. Let's make sure that that's straight. You definitely don't want it to be crooked. Put it on the front of your card. Okay, it's a little bit of glue, but I'll get that off later. Let's see. There. Okay. After I did that, then I put some mini dimensionals along the bottom here because I wanted that to stand up as well. Okay. And I set that aside so it can dry. Then I took my card and my ribbon and I just did this with the ribbon, top to bottom. And I used tape to tape this ribbon where I wanted it, in the center of my card. Up there where you know your, this is going to cover it, so. Just like so. And then I took a glue dot, and I'm going to use a big one. And I put a glue dot under here because I didn't want that to move. So I put that right there. Otherwise it kind of flops around a little bit. So put a glue dot behind there. And you may have to put one here as well, just to keep that thing down. See what I'm doing there, right there. So I want that to stay in place. I don't want it, even when I put the ribbon on it, I want that to stay flat. So I just kind of did that. And then I put this on the front. I'll do this, give you the dimensions and the stamp sets I used on all the other supplies at the end. Well, they'll be under this. Push the little down arrow and everything should be under there. So let me put that on there just like that. Take your bow, put a glue dot on it, glue it to the top, just like so. And then the inside I used another stamp from here, Praying That Your Heart Will Be Lifted. This is a Sympathy card. I took another strip. This is the same size as the other card. Glued this DSP to the, this is Berry Burst cardstock, because I didn't mention that. And then I glued this. This was just to give the inside of the card a little bit of character, so it wasn't plain. I glued that to the bottom. And then the last thing I did was put some pearls in the corner here. See how I put those little pearls there? I put a large one in the corner here. And then the next size, I put one here and a small one here. And then I did the same thing here. One here. And a small one here. And then I took my ribbon scissors and trimmed my ribbon so it was come to a point, like so. And your card's done. So the two cards we made today are this one, this card here, and this card here. Let's do it this way so you can see better. Those are the two cards for today. I hope you have a blessed day. Don't forget my host code, or remember it, for the month of April. If you want a catalog, just order $50 on my website before April 30th, and I'll add you to my mailing list so you can get a new catalog. Thank you for watching and have a blessed day.